What is that?
The guy who uploaded this video said it was from a tape he found in the Black Hills woods.
For us, we're big fans of the original movie and the mythology that had been created by those original filmmakers, and I think we felt excited about the idea of taking that to a new generation.
What better way to do it than, with The Blair Witch, because, that was a film that really, unnerved me when I saw it,
And kind of using modern cameras and modern approach to storytelling, but to capture that same sense of surprise and excitement and scariness that the original film had.
Do you believe in the stories about the Blair Witch?
I think that the first one, I think it felt so unique in its time, and that it created the language that a lot of other found footage movies did. But there was so much mythology there that felt like it was just hinting at kind of a bigger palette and spectrum of scariness.
So, for me, it was just if we're going to do another found footage movie, it better be the best one ever, and the best way to do that is really to get into doing a sequel to what I consider already the best one, but at the end of the day, the pressure is not really that extreme to that extent, because the Book of Shadows, the original sequel, is it's a terrible movie. Some people like it, but I think it's a sloppy mess.
And I think we wanted to try to take that, what was sort of hinted at in the first film, and expand on it a bit, and get you kind of have a sort of a theme park ride experience, but in a Blair Witch universe.
It's somebody needed to step in. Somebody was going to step in at some point and do a legitimate found footage sequel to Blair Witch, and the question is, who's going to do it? And that was kind of our first discussion was look, somebody else is going to do it. They're not going to do it as good as we could, so we should just step in and try to protect this franchise and actually preserve its legacy more than anything.
You did this!
The biggest challenge is exactly what you guys keep asking us about, which is how do we make found footage fresh again? And I think that what we did, a lot of that worked really well was having the actors actually wear the camera rig.
The hardest thing was just the technical aspects of it, because, we're trying to do a movie that is staying true to the original in the sense that, what made the original work was its commitment towards total realism.
A lot of the point of view that you're feeling, it feels more motivated because the actors are actually intuitively using the camera and reacting the way the role actually would have them play.
And and for me, the challenge going into the technical aspects was to try and kind of find a middle ground where we set ourselves some rules that we don't break, in terms of the filmmaking style, and keeping true to the found footage thing, no regular music scores, nothing that the characters wouldn't actually be filming. We always wanted it to be legitimately inspired by what the characters would actually be doing.
So it just feels more real than I think other found footage films do.
This way, come on!
It's one of those things where you can't just look at the first film as a purely psychological experience, because there's just enough supernatural stuff, to kind of imply that there's a huge weird threat out there in the woods, but you just don't know what that is, and that's really fun to play with, and we really took the lead from that too, and all the mythology that they mentioned in the film, I think we get into more detail with it, and kind of embellish on it slightly, and just kind of take it to the next evolved stage of it's the same, but now you have more information, but you still have even more questions,
I'm so sorry.
Esta tercera parte del Dios del Trueno. Aún no se sabe qué papel va a interpretar Sam Neill, pero seguramente conforme pase el tiempo nos van a ir revelando más y más cosas. Y finalmente, si tenían la duda, que creo que era más que obvio, Doctor Strange oficialmente va a aparecer en Avengers Infinity War. Así es, después de una entrevista